WrestleMania 21 with the tagline WrestleMania Goes Hollywood. So WrestleMania 21 was held on April 3rd, 2005 at the Staples Center in Los Angeles, home of your Los Angeles Lakers and Los Angeles Clippers. Well, let me just say about this one. This was definitely a good pay-per-view. Not better than WrestleMania 20 because I still consider that as my top 5 favorite, pretty much. But there were some good matches on here and stuff, but some people really didn't care for and all that. But still, we'll just go through it. But we also had some other things as well, with it being WrestleMania 21 Goes Hollywood. We also had some movie things that where the WWE superstars were imitating people from this famous movies, as you know. Yeah, so let me just go through them real quick. We had Forrest Gump one with Eugene playing the role of Tom Hanks, which was stupid, It was just him trying to imitate Forrest Gump and going talking about WrestleMania 3 and all that. When Hulk Hogan body slam Andre the Giant, and he winds up punching the black lady next to him, or lady next to him. I know, well, that's what she was in the movie, but sorry. And he just winds up running away, and William Regal makes a cameo at the end and just says, "Run, Eugene, run." That was senseless. Then we had Braveheart, which featured Triple H playing the title role of Mel Gibson. I didn't really see the movie, though, and Ric Flair making a cameo. Basic Instinct with Chris Benoit, Chris Jericho, and Christian playing the interrogators, and then here comes Stacy Keibler as Sharon Stone. And, of course, we're not going to see, the infamous scene where Sharon Stone uncrosses her leg, But, yeah, but it does happen, but it's just, blurred out or whatever it is they do. Then after they're done with that, and here comes the fabulous Moolah and Mae Young. And I saw this, and I was like, oh, no. So Moolah makes Mae Young lift up both her legs and, like a full starfish, and they're all like, ah, ah, ah. And, yeah, that was funny, though. That really was. Then we had Pulp Fiction, which featured Eddie Guerrero and Booker T, which played the roles of John Travolta and Samuel L. Jackson, but I didn't really pay much attention to this one. I really did not. Then we had a Few Good Men, which featured John Cena and John Bradshaw Layfield, or JBL, playing the roles of Tom Cruise and Jack Nicholson, with Jonathan the Coachman, the coach, making an appearance. Dirty Harry, which featured The Undertaker, the only one in it where he just plays the title role of Clint Eastwood and says the words like, "Do I feel lucky? Well, do ya, punk?" And he's getting ready to shoot The Undertaker or whatever, and The Undertaker turns around and shoots him. Yeah. And we also had When Harry Met Sally, which features Kurt Angle and Christy Hemme as well, playing the roles of Billy Crystal and Meg Ryan, with Linda McMahon making a cameo. I'm thinking that is the woman that says, "I'll have what she's having," I think. And we had Taxi Driver, which is a bunch of superstars on here trying to do the thing, which is the famous line by Robert De Niro, "You talking to me?" Which features various superstars and commentators or stuff or whatever, featuring Heidenreich, a.k.a. John Heidenreich, or Heidenreich, or Animal's tag team partner in the Legion of Doom after Hawk had passed away. And we had Shawn Michaels as well, Batista, Rey Mysterio, Shelton Benjamin, Doug and Danny Basham, The Big Show. Well, first it was Heidenreich. He does it, like I said, "You talking to me?" Then Batista doesn't know what he has to say, and the man's saying to him, "You talking to me?" And he's like, "Yeah, I'm talking to you. What's the line?" Then we go and we have Shawn Michaels saying, then Rey Mysterio and Shelton Benjamin and the Basham brothers saying, "You talking to us?" Then the Big Show comes in, and he's so big, and they can only get his stomach in there, so they got to fix the camera angle. Then we have Candice Michelle as well, who I don't even know why. Well, it's a man that says it. That says "You talking to me?" But then Carlito and Tajiri, who is Japanese, and he's like, "Wouldn't you know?" Yeah. Then the Big Show having another attempt or whatever saying it, but he winds up ripping his jacket, and they gotta take a take two. Then Orlando Jordan, or a.k.a. the gay guy, who was also in there. um, Giovanni and Gene Snitsky, who was about to say it, but something falls down off of the shelf or whatever, and he says, "That wasn't my fault." You remember back in the day when he said that? It wasn't my fault. Or, okay, the baby killer, as everybody remembers. And we had Paul London, Taz, Chavo Guerrero, Hardcore Holly, Molly Holly, where Molly Holly says, "You must be talking to me," and then Michael Cole, which is funny, and Michael Cole says, "I'm the only one here." She didn't have a phone call. Okay, and there we go. Now we're back. Sorry about that. Just had a little phone call I just had to answer. And if you saw that picture on there, as I had to turn my camera off for a second, if you saw that picture on there, that is a picture of me and a lady that I met last night at a bar. So, yeah, she's pretty hot. Let's move on now. As I was saying about Taxi Driver, Molly Holly, who was saying in there, "You must be talking to me," and Michael Cole, which is funny, and he says, "I'm the only one here." Yeah, and Batista's like still going over the thing with the guy, like what he has to say, and the guy keeps saying, "You talking to me?" And he's just like, "Seriously, what's the line?" And he winds up walking out. And the Big Show having issues, and the microphone like comes right down on him, and he still can't get the word out. "Are you talking to me?" So now for like a fourth attempt or whatever, he's like wardrobe, microphone, and cameraman, or whatever. So he's about to say it, but then it cuts, and then they're just going to the thing, the WrestleMania promo, and he's like, "That's it, people, that's a wrap," and he just throws like the cameraman, whoever it is, into the stuff, the wall or whatever, and Batista winds up coming back and looking around, and some guy, random guy, says, "Excuse me, sir, can I help you?" And he just looks around and just says to him, "You talking to me?" And that's it. Yeah, that was funny too. It really was. Some of these were funny, like the Basic Instinct one, Dirty Harry one, which is pretty cool. Not funny, but cool. And the Taxi Driver one was good. And the last one, which aired on the night of WrestleMania, the opening video, which was Gladiator, with Stone Cold Steve Austin playing the role of Russell Crowe, which is good too. Uh-huh. And we had celebrity guests as well, which are in attendance, which I'll just go through, because it's my video and I can say what I want, because it's Steve the Shredder 1027 playing and saying what I want. We had David Arquette. Remember the guy back in the day who was the Yeah, somehow world heavyweight champion, and also in that movie with Scott Caan, which was Ready to Rumble. Waste of a movie. Bad wrestling movie. We had Motorhead, who performed Triple H's entrance, first time since WrestleMania 17. We had Adam Sandler, Rob Schneider. They were probably promoting a movie around that time. I don't know what it was. Billy Gibbons from ZZ Top, the Black Eyed Peas, Waste. Billy Corgan from the Smashing Pumpkins, the lead singer. Pretty good band. Anthony Kiedis from the Red Hot Chili Peppers. Ice Cube, Carmen Electra, Sylvester Stallone, Mary Helgenberger. I didn't even know she was a fan. Matt Groening. I don't even know how to pronounce it. Rick Rubin, Will Sasso, and Macaulay Culkin, who was at WrestleMania 6, I believe. No, I don't think it was WrestleMania 6. Was it? I know he was at one of the WrestleManias. If I can look real quick, if I could find it, which one he was at. I think it was WrestleMania 7, though. I know it's not 5. I really think it was 7. Okay, well. Anyway, let's just move on to the rest. Okay, I know it was WrestleMania 7. It was. Okay, now we'll move on to, I guess we just move on to our matches. Well, before the event we had a dark match, which was a 30-man interpromotional battle royal. And we had Booker T, Paul London, Heidenreich, Spike Dudley, Nunzio, Funaki, Doug and Danny Basham, half of these people that I already mentioned, Orlando Jordan, Mark Jindrak, Luther Reigns, not anything to do with Roman Reigns, Scotty 2 Hotty, Hardcore Holly, Charlie Haas, Billy Kidman, and Akio from SmackDown, and Simon Dean, William Regal, Ted Jerry, Rob Conway, Sylvain Grenier, Sinitsky, The Hurricane and Rosie, Chris Masters, Viscera, Rhino, Val Venus, Tyson Tomko, and Maven from Raw, and Booker T wound up getting the win by eliminating Chris Masters to win the Battle Royal. And of course we had Lillian Garcia, who sang America the Beautiful, which is we also had, and the first match of the night was between Rey Mysterio and Eddie Guerrero. Although I didn't really pay much attention to it. I pretty much paid attention for a few of the matches, but I really had to go through this. I have to give a review of it, as I'm doing a whole lot of WrestleMania reviews, and I just figure I'd do a bunch of these. So anyway, just to get this thing out of the way really quickly, Rey Mysterio winds up getting the win. Good match between two good wrestlers, even though Mysterio is still wrestling to this day, but just pretty much gets injured too much. But they wind up shaking hands in the ring after that. Now we move on, which was the next match is. Hold on. Well, we just had this little thing here. Well, now the next one is the match, which is the first ever Money in the Bank ladder match, where the winner of the match, who grabs the briefcase high above the ring, gets a World Heavyweight Championship or WWE Championship title match. Guaranteed anytime, anywhere. Kind of like the hardcore thing, 24 hours, 7 days a week thing, kind of. And we had, in this one, we had Chris Jericho, Chris Benoit, Shelton Benjamin, Edge, Kane, and Christian, along with Tyson Tomko. And a lot of stuff, and a lot of things that can happen in ladder matches and stuff. I remember, I'm trying to think of I remember one time Chris Benoit was off the top of a ladder and landed right on the top of Kane. I think it was at this one. He did a headbutt right on him and wound up hurting himself, which just, he took some hard shots back in the day. He really did. So anyway, but in the end, Edge wound up getting the win by grabbing the briefcase. Not the person I was hoping to win. I was hoping to be Jericho or Benoit or Kane maybe, but he didn't look like the favorite to win. So Edge gets that. Now we had a little thing with Eugene coming out here and just like sharing his excitement about being his first WrestleMania, and gets interrupted by Muhammad Hassan and Daivari. You know, the worst gimmick ever in the business, Muhammad Hassan. You know, just shouldn't even been there in the business. It was bad for business. So they wind up like putting Eugene into the camel clutch thing with like Daivari yelling at him, but then all of a sudden here comes Hulk Hogan, which was and the crowd goes incredibly wild, a big huge pop, but could have been a little bit better if Hulk Hogan would have like used his signature leg drop on one of them, but instead he just threw them both out of the ring and just posed with the fans, and that's just really it. But it was really good to see that happen. Good to see him there and a great pop for him. Now we move on to the next one, which is the match between Randy Orton, the Legend Killer, taking on the 12-0 Undertaker, who had just returned at WrestleMania 20 as his original gimmick, the Undertaker, not the American Badass or Big Evil, as the one we all know. And this was a good match. This really was. You know, Randy Orton, he kind of did look like somebody that would end the streak. But I'll get to how the match ended. But for this one, the Undertaker's entrance was pretty good. You know, he wasn't even walking to the ring. He was just, you know, like sliding to the ring on like some kind of thing that was like underneath and just pushing him like right towards it, which is pretty cool. And also Randy Orton had his father as well, Bob Orton, who was at ringside. The Undertaker like went for a choke slam in this, which wound up being reversed by Orton and reversed into an RKO, which is a pretty cool counter, but hopefully that was not going to be the end of the streak, and it was not. The Undertaker did kick out after that. But the Undertaker gets Randy Orton into the Tombstone Piledriver, because Orton like tried to do that, but a big mistake, and the Undertaker reverses it and gets the win 1-2-3 and extends his streak to 13-0. And I forgot to give like what I think of like out of 10, you know. For Rey Mysterio and Eddie Guerrero, it was a good opener. I'm going to give this a 7. For Edge win the Money in the Bank, I'm going to have to give this I'm going to have to give it a 6. I'll give it a 6. I was going to say 5.5, but I would have gave it a 7.5 if Jericho would have won, or Benoit, somebody. For Edge and Randy Orton, the Undertaker and Randy Orton, I'm going to have to give this one, I'll give it a 6.5. You know, it was good to see this match, and it was definitely good to see the Undertaker still win. Next, we move on to the Women's Championship match, which is between the challenger Christy Hemme, who wound up winning that Raw Diva search or something like that, along with Lita as well, taking on Trish Stratus, the champion. I didn't honestly care who would win this one, but I knew in the end that Trish would definitely get it. So Trish gets the win with the chick kick, and she is your winner, and I give this one a solid 4. Just because sometimes the women matches are good, and sometimes they are not. But there you go. Next, we move on to another good match. This one was probably better than the Undertaker and Orton match, and that is the match between two great wrestlers. I almost said the Undertaker, Shawn Michaels and Kurt Angle. I gotta slow down my speech a little bit. Now, like I said, this was a good match between two great wrestlers. I honestly didn't care who would win, but I was actually pulling for one particular superstar to win, which I'll get to. A lot of stuff, you know, going with Shawn Michaels hitting Angle with a low blow and countering a suplex from Angle, and which was not seen as well. And Shawn Michaels leapfrogging from the ring and onto Kurt Angle on the announcer table, but he would later gain control and got the ankle lock on Shawn Michaels, which I thought Shawn would definitely reach the rope where everybody got pulled back into the middle of the ring, and there was like no chance he was ever going to reach it, but he just had no choice. It was like in the ankle lock for at least 2 minutes or maybe a minute. I don't know exactly, but still, Kurt Angle picked up the win and got him to tap out, but it was a great match between these two, and I give this one an 8 out of 10. because it was good. Yeah, even though I really wanted Shawn Michaels to win, but still, it was a great match. They would like later having a rematch on Raw, like an Iron Man match or something, which ended in a draw, I believe, or something, or it was tied, something like that. Next, we have, for the first time in a while at WrestleMania, we have Piper's Pit with Roddy Piper, along with, well, confronting Stone Cold Steve Austin, but we have Carlito, who interrupts at some reason. But later on, Stone Cold makes his appearance, and he winds up giving a stunner to Carlito, and also Carlito would get spit in the face by Roddy Piper, who chewed his apple, which is pretty funny to see him do that to Carlito, because when Carlito did that to people, when he would chew his apple and spit it in their face, that was stupid, you know. Even when he did it to a woman, it wasn't. It's not cool. You know, that's what he always said. That's not cool, or that's cool. Yeah. So Austin just winds up giving a stunner to Carlito, and then celebrates with a beer with Piper, but gives him a stunner as well, and there you go. But, you know, not a match or anything, but it was fun to watch. But this next one, this was a bust. This was stupid. I don't know why that this match is on there, but this definitely should not have been on there at all. This should have been like the dark match or whatever. This is the sumo match between Akebono and the Big Show. Why? This match was just absolutely boring. I didn't even pay attention to it, and it was just, the match was only 1 minute and 3 seconds. That's it. Usually when they're 1 minute and 3, they suck, and this one did. Akebono just winds up getting the win by tossing the Big Show out of the circle, and that's it. And this match, from me, gets nothing. You lose. Good day, sir. 0 out of 10. Hated it. Next, we move on to our last two matches. Let's check something here. Okay, now the next one, that is, the last two matches, I should say. The next one is the WWE Championship, or the last time that we see the undisputed championship belt, you know, the big huge belt that they called it back in that day before it would be before they would get rid of it and make it the new spinner belt, thanks to John Cena, which features him against the WWE champion JBL, John Bradshaw Layfield. And you know, I pretty much knew that Cena was going to win this because I didn't really pay much attention to it because it's WrestleMania, and I just was like, I know he's definitely going to get the win. I don't care about this. I really don't. So, yeah, there you go. And John Cena gets the FU on JBL, and he is the new WWE champion for the first time ever in his career. But I'll probably just give this match I'll just probably give it a 6, just because, you know, John Cena back in the day, he was alright to watch, but didn't really care for him still. Yeah, so there you go. And now the last match, which is for the World Heavyweight Championship, which is a battle of two former friends in Evolution. Batista, the winner of the 2005 Royal Rumble, taking on the World Heavyweight Champion Triple H. Also entering to the song The Game, performed by Motorhead. Not as good as the one at WrestleMania 17, but, you know, it was alright. But I did watch certain bits and pieces of this, but I had a feeling Batista was going to win because he won the Rumble, and usually when you win the Royal Rumble, you win the title. But not a lot did not. Like Vince McMahon, who won the Royal Rumble in '99, he did not win the championship at WrestleMania. He didn't win it till like later in September or whatever, thanks to help from Arnold Schwarzenegger, I believe. Let's see here. Alright, so anyway, yeah, it was just, Excuse me. Yeah, it was just it was not a bad match. I know some people didn't really care for it that much, but I thought it was not a bad match. Batista wins it by getting the Batista bomb, and he is the World Heavyweight Champion for the first time ever in his career, and I give this a 7. So out of the whole pay-per-view, just like that, now let me take a look at like the wrestling here, like what they rate it and stuff. Alright, the main event, Triple H and Batista, they rate it a 6 out of 10. Well, I give it a 7. Like I said, JBL and John Cena, well, I gave it a 6. I gave it a 5. Shawn Michaels and Kurt Angle, a 9 out of 10 they give it. Undertaker and Orton and the Money in the Bank ladder match, they were 8. Well, still, well, it's my opinion what I say, but that's my words. But out of the whole pay-per-view, I'm gonna give this one a 7 out of 10. Just the Aki Bono and Big Show matches really killed it. It really did. But that will do it. That will do it for my review of WrestleMania 21. I hope you all enjoyed this review. And coming up next will be my WrestleMania 22 review, as we're going to be trying to do all the WrestleMania pay-per-views as I can. So that's it for this. So you guys enjoy. Please like, comment, and subscribe. It is not a bad thing. It's a good thing. And I'll see you with more videos.